Hi folks, well a few weeks ago I recorded a review of this Lapsun 14 megapixel digital microscope and I gave it a thumbs down because the USB support wasn't working, but I've been in contact with the seller over the last few weeks and this camera unit's been back to China and come back again having nothing but a firmware upgrade, but they've added a couple of new features, so I thought I'd do a follow-up on this and you can see what's new. Hi folks, well it's finally back from China. I think it's going to be in this part now, I'm pretty sure. I haven't got anything else on order at the moment. This should be my Lapsun camera back. So I thought I'd do a quick follow-up and see if it now works when I plug it in. So this has allegedly had the firmware patched on it. Apparently there wasn't anything wrong with the actual hardware, it was a software problem. So we'll see if I can get into the package. Goodness, let's get something lethal on the go. There we go. Ah, well it's certainly well sealed against moisture. So this has allegedly had firmware put on it that fixes the USB problems I was finding earlier on, and I've got another set of firmware in my email that fixes the fact you couldn't set the time and date that's time stamped onto every recording. So it is the camera unit back, which is cool. Let's plug it in and give it a try. I'm actually going to just do this really quick and easy style because I have I'll catch. What will I do? So, plug in a USB cable and see what happens. I haven't plugged anything into this yet. I haven't put a lens on, but we seem to be getting lots of dirt on the sensor there, or something. We've got lots of dark blotches on that image, which is rather interesting. Don't know what's going on with that. So there's the image sensor. Can we get the dust on this camera, or whatever it is? There we go, you can just about see it there, the specks that have come back on that image sensor. So I contacted the seller and they advised me to clean the dust off this thing with a bit of air, and I've got this little balloon pump which is probably the cleanest source of dry air that I've got. I've got air compressors but they're all oil based, so they'd put oil in the airstream, so I'm going to give this a try for cleaning it off, and I'm going to fire up the software and we'll see if we can actually see the dust coming off this thing as it goes. So obviously we've got no lens, so we're not going to have much of an image at the end of the day. On the device, yes. So this is our camera device. You can see as I put my finger in the way that it can see my finger, and you can see these splotches here on the image. So let's give this a... That looks a lot better. Still one in the middle there. Or is that on my screen actually? Now that one's on the screen. Give it one more blast. Right, we're looking quite good there now. Okay, I'll put the lens on it and we'll see how we get on with that. So here we are with the camera back in its mount with the lens on there, and I've got the 0.5 times Barlow lens on there, which gives me this huge working distance, and you can see I've got a SanDisk 64 gig card under there just for some image. And I have to say I'm really quite pleased because there's basically no lag on this thing now at all. As soon as I do anything with this, yeah, it's pretty much instantaneous on the response, so that's very usable for me, that I can stick it on a PC screen and do soldering under there or something like that, probe about without a problem. I mean, at this distance the white balance is somewhat off, but that's not really too surprising. I can't fault it for that. There we are, that's the other side of it all. And look, we can see little bits of circuit trace in there. And have a look at that. I never realised that was a PCB before. Now let's get ourselves zoomed in on that a bit. Oh, point it in the right direction. So there we go, we can see all of the little traces. I don't know if you can see this on that screen. I should start capturing this actually. Let's try the capture feature. Start capture. Oh, it's gone smaller. Never mind, stop that then. I have another way for doing that. But yeah, I mean, even zoomed in that far, I've still got a huge working distance here without a problem. I can still get in and work on something very, very tiny. This is probably smaller than I can actually work on now. But that's the tip of my finest tweezers, so it gives us some idea of the size of this circuit board. I seem to have left lots of little holes in the copper all over the board for some reason. I never realised this was PCB before. I just figured this was plastic before. I mean, that's obviously the actual silicon die with the memory in it, but I'd always just figured this was plastic before, but it looks like that's the coating of a printed circuit board there. Is this any made in China? And of course, if I unscrew the Barlow lens now, we get significantly more magnification, but I'm going to have to slightly change the setup here. Get the right working distance for the new lens combo. Paper. There we are. Ah, with more light on it, we're actually getting the colours of the circuit board there. That just looks black to the eye. And we can get in a bit closer on that. There we go. I've just switched my PC software to a thing called Manycam, which is something I use with Skype that lets me have multiple camcorders hooked up. But now I've got a full 30-inch monitor with decent screen refresh on it. Decent, you know, this still responds basically in real time. So look at those scratches on there. I don't know what you can see on the camera, but you can certainly see lots of scratches here. Right, anyway, HDMI next, and I'll try out a new toy as well. So, the USB cable's gone, and now we switch to an HDMI cable that's running over to my PC, where I've got an HDMI capture card now, and that means I have to run the camera on external power. And but it does mean that now, when I power the camera on, I can capture everything. So we'll record this, and I can insert the footage in with the rest of the camera. In with the rest of the video. Yes, it is glowing red in the border. And what I want to try is recording to trans flash again and seeing what I can get out of that. And to end any and all arguments, I'm going to use this, actually, I'm going to use this, the Samsung Evo 32 Class 10 Plus Super Fast. It's basically the fastest micro SD card you can get at the moment, so if this doesn't end arguments about my card not being suitable, nothing will. And the one that was in there was this SanDisk 64 meg, which can still handle kind of 30 megasecond speeds. We'll get that going again. Okay, so for something with a bit of visual interest, I've got this 128K EEPROM from a Cambridge Z88 computer. I've got a couple of them kicking around that I might show you one day. So let's get in the menus, sort out this card first of all, format it. Oh, wrong button. Try that again. There we go. Right, finally, after a battle with the menus, back into the menus. So I will format the disk. All data will be deleted. Okay. Right, now we can go into camera mode, recording mode, and we'll start recording a video, and we'll see how long this keeps recording for. I'm going to take us for a little look around this EPROM. We'll do a bit of zooming in here. Now that's as far as I can get with no lenses attached. I can of course drop the camera down some more because we've got plenty of zoom left on there, so let's come down a little bit. There we go. There's some micro circuitry there. It's quite a nice level of detail actually. And we should be able to use the software zoom as well. Now we've stopped recording there. But, let me get a better lens on that. Let's have a recording of this. First of all, let's see if we can zoom in digitally. No, we can't digital zoom when we're recording. But here we are at around about 360 times magnification on an EPROM, the UV erasable programmable read-only, and we've basically got just about enough detail at this scale to make out the individual cell structures for the memory. You can see all the row and column drivers at the end of them there, and those break out and go off to these bond wires that connect on there and are zooming off out of focus because they come up out of the image. All down the side of this EPROM we've got the little channel drivers for it, and we seem to have stopped recording now. So yep, even with the fastest transflash you can get in there, it's still not going to record more than 30 seconds at a time. So perhaps that's an issue that Lapsun will address, and I'll certainly ask them about that and see if they want to send through another firmware update. So where do we stand then in the final verdict of everything? Well, let's see. Love the stand, love all the bits that are made out of metal, not keen on the ring light. Camera now works on USB, which is what I bought it for, so given this now fulfills my need, it scrapes a thumbs up. Things I'd like to see improved: it would be great if the camera could record in MP4 format instead of .mov, because that doesn't import into my editing software. It'd be nice if they could put a delay on the camera button such that after you press it, it waits a second or so before it takes the image, because of course the action of pressing the button puts the image out of focus in the first place, so that'd be a good feature to have. And of course they need to fix the 30-second recording problem on the trans flash cards, and I've tried it with two cards that both work fine in a 1080p camcorder. It's not like these cards can't record 1080p video without a problem, so that's definitely another software issue that needs to be looked at. But it does what I wanted it for, so I'm going to give it a thumbs up. The 30-second problem, I'll trust Lapsun will take a look at that one. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that, folks, and thanks for watching. See you next time.